A love written in the stars. The city lights twinkled below like a sea of stars as Maya stood on the rooftop, wrapped in her scarf, watching the night sky. She had always been fascinated by the stars, how they seemed both so distant and yet so close, like silent companions to her quiet evenings. Tonight was special. It was the night of the annual meteor shower, an event she had looked forward to since she was a child. But tonight, there was something else stirring in the air, something that made her feel on edge, as if fate had something in store for her that she couldn't quite put her finger on. As she adjusted her telescope, the sound of footsteps echoed softly behind her. She turned to see a man she hadn't noticed before, standing at the far end of the rooftop. He looked a little surprised, as if he hadn't expected anyone else to be up here. "Sorry," he said, stepping closer. "I didn't mean to intrude. I come up here every year to watch the meteor shower." Maya smiled, immediately understanding. "Same here. You're not intruding at all. The view is perfect, isn't it?" He nodded, glancing at the sky above. "Yeah, it's magical." There was a moment of silence, a comfortable pause where they both simply stared at the heavens, waiting for the first streak of light to shoot across the dark canvas. "I'm Ryan, by the way," he finally said, turning to face her. "Maya," she replied with a smile. For a while, they exchanged small talk, where they were from, how long they had been living in the city. It turned out they had both been coming to the same rooftop for years, watching the same meteor showers, without ever crossing paths until now. The coincidence seemed oddly fitting, as if the universe had decided that this was the right moment for them to meet. As the first meteor shot across the sky, Maya let out a quiet gasp, the beauty of it never failing to amaze her. Ryan, too, stared up in awe, but his gaze drifted back to her more than once. There was something about the way she looked at the stars with a sense of wonder and peace that captivated him. "Do you ever wonder what's up there?" he asked, his voice soft and contemplative. "All the time," she replied, her eyes still fixed on the sky. "It's like looking at an endless story, and we're just tiny characters in it." Ryan smiled. "That's a beautiful way to put it. It makes everything feel connected." They continued to talk, their conversation flowing effortlessly, as if they had known each other for years. Maya found herself opening up in ways she hadn't expected, sharing her hopes, her dreams, and even the little fears she usually kept hidden. And Ryan listened, really listened, as though every word she spoke mattered. As the night deepened and the meteor shower reached its peak, something shifted between them. The stars above seemed to twinkle a little brighter, as if they were witnessing a new beginning unfold. "Maya," Ryan said suddenly, his voice quieter now, more serious. "I don't know if this sounds crazy, but I feel like we were meant to meet tonight, like the stars brought us together." Maya's heart skipped a beat. There was something in the way he said it, the sincerity in his voice, that made her believe it too. She had always been a dreamer, someone who believed in signs and fate, but this felt different, real. "I was thinking the same thing," she admitted softly. "It feels right, doesn't it?" Ryan took a step closer, his gaze searching hers. "It does." They stood there for a moment, the world around them fading into the background. The city below was quiet, the stars above watching over them as if waiting for what would happen next. And then, as if drawn together by some invisible force, Ryan gently took her hand. It was a simple gesture, but it sent a rush of warmth through Maya's entire being. She hadn't realized how much she had longed for this. Connection, intimacy, something deeper than just a fleeting moment. "I don't know what happens next," Ryan whispered, his eyes locked on hers. "But I want to find out. With you." Maya smiled, her heart full as she squeezed his hand. "Me too." As they stood together, hand in hand, the stars above continued their silent dance. Meteors streaked across the sky, bright and fleeting, but in that moment, Maya knew that some things, like the connection she had just found, weren't fleeting at all. It was as if the universe had written their story in the stars long before they had ever met. And now, together, they were ready to see where it would lead.